So, when we look at how you've ran your practice over the years, you have an executive team that consists of a HR people leader, you have a trainer, a corporate trainer, you have an EVP. Tell me about why it was so important to shape your business with these corporate figures.
Well, as your business grows and as your business expands, and that's the part that's, it's balancing. You've got to grow and scale at the same time, and no one can really get that correct. I don't know if there's anyone who's been able to grow and scale perfectly. But I'm aware of the fact that when we're growing, and the reason we're growing again is because I made the decision that I want to grow, and I'm taking all my capital and reinvesting it in my business. That you have to have the right people in the right places, because vision is one thing. Everybody has a vision. Everyone has an idea. That's easy. The execution of the vision is the difficult part. And it is very, very difficult and very, very challenging. And no one has perfected that either. And that's just a work in progress where you continue to tinker with things. But you have many challenges. I mean, you can make, say, your intake center perfect. But then if you lose a couple of key people, well, you're back almost to square one to a degree. So you've got to find those people. But I think the glue that holds it together is obviously me, in terms of, once again, understanding what is necessary to be successful in this space. I'm not talking about another space. And I've always said it again, if you had an A-plus person in every seat, nothing would, even in my firm today, if we never got more cases than we get today, never had another employee come in, never changed our marketing, and tried to remain status quo. If we had an A-plus person in every seat, we'd triple our revenue. Same thing.
I believe it. So let's talk about that leadership team. You have 4 people in the role. Out of those 4 people, 3 of them are women.
That's right.
Women. 2 of them look and sound like me. So what that says to me, let me just tell you how it hits me and other young Hispanic Black girls. There is hope that we can make it and climb up the corporate ladder. Why is diversity so important to you?
Well, I mean, you have to remember, so this is culturally ingrained in me too. I mean, obviously, look, my dad was always working when I was young. All I ever did was, it was my mother and my 3 daughters. And then I had an 18-year break, and then it was a wife and 3 daughters. 3 sisters and 3 daughters. So I've always been around women. I don't have any brothers. And I just understand, I think I have a good sense of the strengths and weaknesses of diversity and women. For me, I like the different approach they bring, the different thinking. I don't want someone who thinks like me. Yes, you want to be all on the same page and on the same vision, but they bring in different ideas, always different perspectives. Obviously, the population is 50% women. Obviously, our clients, if you historically look into the data, in most Hispanic communities and in most African American communities, women make the decision what lawyer they're going to hire. And, as they say, if mama's happy, everybody's happy.
Everybody.
And if your wife is happy, they say everybody's happy. So I'm very cognizant of that fact.
Okay. So I'll tell you this. Let's talk about your give back in the community. When I look back at some of the work that you've done, you have a scholarship program. You do a lot of community events. You give back time. There's also a monetary component. Why is that so important? And how do you stay connected to the people, acknowledging all the success that you've had?
Well, look, first of all, it's a biblical principle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had mentioned before, I'm reading a book right now called Fields of Gold by Andy Stanley. You know, you're supposed to give 10% of what you earn.
Mm-hmm.
Biblically speaking, again, Jesus says, give Caesar what is his
Mm-hmm.
and give me mine what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that's no different than tithing to our churches or
Sure.
communities and giving our federal government their percentage.
Sure.
I grew up in a family that regardless of what we made, my parents were tithing. But I will say this, and I have no reason to say that I am so authentic. So I will say this, every time I have given $1, and all your blessings don't come back monetarily, they can come back in different forms. Healthy family, your health,
Mm-hmm.
a million different ways.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
As honest and as truthful as I can be and as authentic as I can be, it has always, whatever, for every $1 I have given, the good Lord has given me back 5.
Mm.
So if that's not an incentive to give, I don't know what else is.
Right, right.